Hello and welcome to another edition of Left-Handed with a lot to say. That's with two T's, not one. And I'm your host, James Lott Jr. And this is my Left-Handed podcast. We're, I think, on episode 8 or 9 at this point. But we're having a good time talking to folks who are the Southpaw way. This person is actually very special to me because actually on all of the shows I've done over 1,000 hours of these things. And I've had 2 cousins on and a sister. But I've never had anybody else on my show from my family. So it's very interesting. He's left-handed like I am. I gave him his name when he was born. And he is coming from Sacramento, California. My grandson is Zaidan Perry. Hi, Zaidan.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. It's so surreal for me. I'm just like, I'm talking to you on one of my shows, what I do for a living.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's weird, like saying it and then being in it.
Yeah, exactly. You can see watch how he's just doing it. So I got the good fortune, folks out there, to actually, I was hoping that one of my grandchildren would become left-handed, and I got one, the first one. And he's also a Taurus, like I am too, so we had both those things happen. Even though you were born in April, not May, that's okay. April Taurus. But
it's close enough.
It's close enough. Actually, because you are towards the end of April. I'm towards the middle of May, so it kind of works. But first of all, I ask every guest on the show, because we're living through strange times, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Me and my girlfriend Sarah are doing just fine. We've been doing a lot of arts and crafts, hence why my hair is half and half.
I love it. You're like me. We just change our hair anytime we feel like it. It's just hair.
But still just waiting to hear back from work. Luckily, I'm in a place where I don't have to spend a lot of money for like rent or things like that. So it's just been an overly long vacation, like too long of a vacation. I guess there is such a thing now.
Yes there is, because right now you're not working because you're not an essential worker. You're not
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. How's it been in Sacramento though? What is the mood like there? Because I'm in LA where it's a lot worse, but where is it like?
Well, I guess it is just kind of like LA, except on a smaller scale. What with everything going on, I've been going to a lot of marches and things like that. I went to one on Saturday, last Saturday, and it was very peaceful, very cool. There's a lot of music being played. We had the mayor come out. That's when that day, Saturday, is when our curfew was disbanded, or was lifted, sorry. So that was pretty cool. I got to see that live.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, overall, like, it's really nice not working or not having technical responsibilities right now, because you can go out and do these things and in a safe way still be a part of the community.
Is anything open? Is anything open yet in your area?
A lot of things are open, actually. We were supposed to have all gyms and restaurants and schools open up this week, but I know that there are a couple gyms and places that are opening up the 22nd to the 29th. But yeah, I would say a good majority of like downtown Sacramento is open too.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, like just turned 21. I went quote unquote bar hopping the other day. Like
How'd that go? How did that go?
It was kind of nice. There was nothing really inside that was open. It was more outside stuff. So that's why bar hopping was you got your drink to go, and then you could finish it outside and then go to another bar if you wanted. But it's
because I was gonna say, because Sacramento's a place where it's warm outside. You can actually do that.
Oh my God, it's so hot. Like I know LA is really hot, but it's super weird because we still get cold mornings here.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Today we woke up and it was so hot last night that we had all of our fans on and stuff. Yeah. So we had everything out, and then it was morning time and it was like 50 degrees in the house. It's freezing.
I don't miss Sacramento's summer weather. I don't.
It's very strange weather.
Woo! I don't. Folks, if you don't know this, it gets into triple digits there. Like, it does. Not fun. It's been in the 90s down here, but for me, because I live by the beach and everything, it's kind of like, it's a little hot for us down here. And I have no air conditioning. I have a ceiling fan that's like puttering around. We're not doing that much. But that's good. So I'm glad you guys are good and safe, and that's good. So now it's about the left-handed thing. I always ask this question of every person who does. Do you remember when you felt or knew you were different? They're like a lot of
I guess it was preschool.
oh, okay.
Preschool, I didn't know how to write my name because I would watch them write it backwards. So then I would write my name backwards, and like Da Vinci, all my letters and words were backwards. And so it took a very long time to switch it.
Yes. Don't you hate when people tell you, well, just do the opposite of what I'm doing? Like I was trying to learn something once ago, just do the opposite. I'm like, that's not how my brain works.
Oh yeah, no, it's so bad that I've gotten to the point where because of quarantine, we're doing arts and crafts and stuff. So we're making like necklaces, bracelets.
Okay.
You know, Sarah makes earrings and things like that. I've been looking at tutorials on how to make like bracelets and things like that, or how to sew. Everyone does things right-handed. And so it gets to the point where I can't even copy it left-handed anymore and flip it in my brain. I just have to do it right-handed. So I've noticed that my right hand is actually fairly dexterous, but everything is more comfortable in my left hand.
Ah, interesting. So you're becoming ambidextrous, kind of, just by
A
default.
little bit. Like I play my guitar left-handed, and technically I can play it right-handed because I can fret the neck better with my left hand, and I can run scales better with my left hand. But I don't have the control of strumming in my right hand very well, so I have to switch it, which is why when I was a kid playing bass, they liked me so much because I could do either or.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. 'Cause I had a guest on who was forced to be right-handed, but
Yeah.
then went back to being left-handed. And so
Oh,
now
okay.
I had a guest who's strictly right-handed, but taught herself how to be left-handed.
Hmm.
That's a trip. Your mom's weird that way. Your mom is the type who will
Yeah.
do things left-handed, but she's right-handed.
Like she just chooses not to.
Right. It's like so weird. It's like we had talked about this the other night, and she was like, "Yeah, I like the left-handed thing," and I said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but you're not left-handed, so it's kind of funny. You have to do that." It's funny much of tutorials. I'm learning how to crochet.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm still stuck on the second row. I'm like trying to get past the second row. I think I'm making it
That
wrong.
confuses the hell out of me.
It's so weird. But I found a left-handed person. So I
Oh,
found
okay.
a left-handed person. So the way they hold the needles is very important. Like, oh, okay. So I'm actually seeing a left-handed person. So it made it so much easier for me to go. I can hold it. I can mimic exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point. Like you said with the tutorials, it's hard. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm not great at arts and crafts, even though I'm left-handed. What is it? Left hand is the logical side, so I guess I'm left-brained too.
No, you're right-brained.
Oh, I'm right-brained. All right.
It said right brain is the creative side. Left brain is the analytical side. So
Oh
we're
well, then
right
I'm
brain.
left-brained definitely because I am not good at arts and crafts at all. So I'm
You're
full
not
left,
really.
left foot,
You
left
are.
hand, left brain.
You don't think you're good at arts and crafts?
Probably not. I mean,
Can't you
I'm
draw?
impatient, and arts and crafts has to do with patience. So it's not a skill that I can acquire at the moment.
You can't draw or nothing, really?
I can draw a mean line.
I can't draw either.
Yeah.
I can't. I can do everything else, but I can't draw.
I think Da Vinci just got too lucky with his left-handed skills and didn't save any for us.
It took it all, and that was it. I can't draw to save my life. I can't. I can write. I can play music. My keyboard's over here somewhere. I can do songs, but I can't. I mean, tell me to draw a cow. I can't. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, or draw a horse or something. I'm horrible at that. I wish I could draw. I wish I knew how to draw.
I don't know many left-handed people who actually can draw. I don't think that's any coincidence or there's no correlation. Sorry, it's just a coincidence to me. But I've never really met a left-handed person who can really draw. And the things that I've seen on YouTube, usually when somebody's drawing left-handed, it's their camera is flipped, or they have two different versions. They have a flipped left-handed and a right-handed version.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, you still just don't really know.
Yeah, I've seen it before. No, I've seen it before. I'd ask somebody, "Are you left-handed?" No, my camera's that way. I go, "Oh, okay." And it looks left-handed, but you're not. Now, as you know, so I can't remember who taught you how to tie your shoes. I can't remember.
How do I tie my shoes?
And who taught you also? I can't remember who taught you.
I
I can't remember. I'm old. I can't remember.
I remember my dad kind of teaching me, but I know that I learned how to tie my shoes my way in second grade.
Okay.
From this, he worked in my after school program, like a 4th R,
Oh yeah.
and he was one of our staff members, and he showed me how to tie my shoe faster because it was kind of hard for me to do the bunny ears because everyone does the bunny right hand.
Yes.
And so I tried with my right hand and it didn't feel comfortable. And then I could try it with my left hand, but I couldn't get the loop around or anything. So he's just like, dude, yeah, I got you. And it's a 2-step plan. And in 2 steps, I can tie my shoe. And I've been doing that ever since I was like 7.
I know. I taught my younger brother how to tie his shoe because he was left-handed, but I had to learn on my own. I had to
Oh, yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, my dad he really tried, but I just was not really getting it.
It's like nobody really understands that. They really don't. It's like the world
Mhm.
is really set up right-handed. Like it really, really is. Like I was showing somebody the other day my left-handed notebook. I always show this. People laugh. But
Oh, yeah.
it's a left-handed notebook. It opens this way. And so people are like, well, what if you just open the other way? I said, no, it actually is better for the margin. That's why it's left-handed this way.
Yeah.
It's like
When I first saw that, I was like, that's kind of funny. They're just selling regular books. But then when you open it up, I saw that the rings for the binders were still on the left-hand side. So I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually really helpful. That way you're not all backwards or anything, or you have to look in a mirror just to read your work.
I tell you, totally right. Exactly. So I was like, okay. But we do have the problem still as poor left-handed folks. I literally have ink on my hands now on my left hand. The ink part. Isn't that crazy? Because we go across.
Yeah.
I mean, a felt tip pen, and it's just I'm already got ink on my hands already.
One of my biggest fears was in math class. We'd always have to draw on the whiteboards what our answers were. And there were a couple times starting out, especially in high school, where I would go up and do a problem. And then I would realize that I rested my hand on the whiteboard and I erased the first portion of the problem. So I couldn't look back to make sure I was right or not. If we were doing like certain formulas or anything like that, I'd have to like finish the rest of it. And I'd kind of just drag my hand along and then I'd look down and there'd be like blue or green ink and we'd have to write it all over. So I have to crane draw the pen and make sure that I'm not touching the whiteboard at all. I think whiteboards are my biggest issue with being left-handed.
Okay, so every single episode I do this show, I think of something new. I learned something, and I never even thought of it before. That's interesting because you're right. If you write up and down, it's different because you're not going across with it. You do a problem up and down like this, it's fine. But going across, that's so funny. I never thought of it before.
The fun thing about being left-handed is when you talk to other left-handed people about your issues, very rarely do you actually have like the exact same issue. There's always one variant that you never really thought about, or there's one other thing. Like when I found out that a good friend of mine was left-handed in high school, she immediately freaked out because she loves like seeing left-handed people and stuff. But then she immediately asked me, do you scratch your lead? So if you take a mechanical pencil or even a regular pencil, do you scratch underneath the tables to sharpen your lead before writing? And I thought, no, I've never even heard of that. And she goes, I'm the only person who does it who's like left-handed, but I have a couple friends who do it. She has a couple friends who do it, but they're right-handed. So she wanted to know if it was like just a thing that she picked up or if like left-handed people do it too. It's very weird.
I never heard that either before. That's so interesting. I don't know.
No, but there is also the what was it? It'll come back to me.
Yeah. Well, I know a friend of mine who was talking about learning how to sign language.
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn.
When I say left hand, it's backwards.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so you had to learn how to sign right-handed.
That's really cool.
I never thought that before. It said when you sign left-handed, apparently it makes people go, well, what are you doing? Like what's going on?
When I worked at Panda Express, I had a couple regulars who one of them was mute and then one of them was actually deaf. And so I would sign to them because I like looked up how to do these things like, hey, how do you ask for help? Or how can you like say this is this much, this is that much? So I would do my own research on how to sign because I've always wanted to learn sign language. And everybody would do it with their right hand. I had never thought that doing it left-handed would mean it was backwards. So that makes sense now when I was trying to sign to them and they kind of understood, but they were like laughing a little bit. That's super funny.
I know. See, I never done that either. I think sign language is very cool. I think the way to learn how to do that with how to communicate with your hands. And I talk with my hands all the time. I always like moving my hands.
Yeah.
But actually actually say something with them, not just use them to like. Ah. I think it's very cool that that people can still communicate whether they can't hear but they can see it. So I think it's very interesting. But she mentioned that. But she was my friend Yale. She's on the show. She did that. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, interesting. Also, she comes from the Middle East, where everything is left-handed.
Oh, crazy.
That's how they read. That's how they write. Everything is the opposites.
Oh yeah, being a huge dork, I've read a couple of mangas.
Oh,
I actually, what's weird is I can pick up a book and read it easier flipping the pages than I can right to left, even though I've only started reading like Japanese mangas like maybe a year or two, but it's way more comfortable than just a normal book. It's super funny.
I know. It's weird. I noticed, and we were talking this before, how you notice other left-handed people. You notice other left. It's like a club.
Yeah.
Like you see it. Like you and I always talk when we get together. Okay, who sits on the end?
Yeah.
Because the elbow thing. Like
so I'm not bumping into you.
Exactly. It's to me, it's so funny how every left-handed person I talk to, that's a big thing. Like you're left-handed too. Like, do you notice in movies when somebody's left-handed or on TV? Do you notice that they're left-handed?
That's my favorite thing about being left-handed is because you always notice when somebody else is. You always know. Like even if it's I used to be a personal trainer and I am into fitness, so I analyze a lot of things, and so I also notice that when somebody's left-handed, their left arm is bigger.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, it is bigger.
So it's kind of a strange thing. Like even if I want to notice it or I don't, I just kind of look over and I like immediately go, oh, they're right-handed. It's fine. But the second I see somebody doing something with their left hand, or if they're like curling with their left hand and their left arm is just bigger than their right arm because, uneven or whatever, they're left-handed. Like I always notice it, but I always get a tiny bit excited when I see a left-handed person. It's just that weird, like internal thing.
I do too. It doesn't go away. At the gym, this is a good point. I'm talking to anybody from the gym. Are there certain things for you that are easy? Are you left side dominant when you're at the gym? Is it much easier to do things left-handed, or when you're doing free weight stuff, is it harder right-handed? I don't know. I have no clue. So I'm like curious.
It kind of depends on the person, because even though I'm left-handed, I have a very strong right hand, because when I need to do something that involves like anything delicate, like say I'm carrying groceries and I have a lot of groceries, I'm not that kind of person who likes to do multiple trips. I will put as many groceries in my hands as possible
I do the same thing.
take them. I put everything in my right hand so I can do everything else with my left hand, which means my right hand is actually pretty strong. Like I carry a lot of weight in my right hand so I can do a lot of main things in my left. So I would think that even though maybe I can't curl as much with my right arm as I can with my left arm, my right arm can still keep up very well. And in some cases, I still find that my right arm can be stronger for a longer period of time because it has more muscle endurance. So that's some interesting things to think about when you're in the gym. Like if you want to have an even physique, if you're going for something aesthetic, you need to focus on your offhand, definitely, but you also need to work on not neglecting your main hand. Like don't underdo your left hand just because your right hand needs work, vice versa.
Yeah.
So being left-handed, you kind of have to think about it backwards for people when you're training them. Like, okay, your dominant hand, you always have to tell them your dominant side, because you can't say right or left or else you'll get them confused.
Yeah, I like that. But it's funny, the grocery stand is the same thing. I got big hands. I can hold a lot of groceries.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Base
you
hands.
too. So we have big hands in the family. But I do, so I can use my left hand to like open the door, close gates,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do it. So that's funny. I do the same thing. But that's what that just leads to because here's something that a lot of us on this show have been trying to figure this out when it comes to sports. You played sports growing up. I did too, with sports. So I'm like, okay, so if you're left-handed, are
Mm-hmm.
you also left-footed? Because for me, when I skate and stuff, I push off with my left foot. But in soccer, I left with my right foot. Baseball, I batted left-handed. So it's just kind of weird. It's like, at volleyball, I'm left-handed. But it's funny, when it comes to skating and stuff, I'm literally a left-footed person. So I don't know, how do you feel about that when it comes to sports? What were you like?
When I skate, I'm left-footed. I push with my left foot. I have better balance on my left foot,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot kick the board with my left foot. My right foot needs to be in the back in order for me to pop the board in the air.
Okay.
So that means I need to skate switch. When I grew up, I sprained my left ankle twice within 2 months.
Remember that.
And I couldn't play with my left foot anymore. So at a very young age, I was left-footed, but then I had to learn how to use my right foot. I dislocated my knee sophomore year, my left knee. I had to use all my weight on my right foot. Now my right foot is much stronger than my left foot, but my left foot has more muscle control. Like when I used to drum, I learned that I should use the kick with my left foot and the hi-hat with my right foot. I didn't switch them because all the other drummers were right-footed. So I just had to play normal. But once I switched everything over, I realized that even though my right foot was stronger, I was more skilled and more dexterous with my left foot. So I'm not sure if there is I would say there is a correlation to the whole left-right thing, or left foot, left arm thing, because you use your hands for a very large portion of the things you do every day.
Right.
You also do that with your foot, but when do you ever really need to focus solely on one leg doing something at a time and have your other leg do something different? Because your left hand is doing something completely different than your right hand always does, I feel like that it's easier for, almost like a marionette, the left side controls the left side. So you subconsciously think that even though, just because that my left hand is doing most of the work, my left foot is also going to lead in that direction also. I think that's where that comes from. It's just kind of like a preset where if your left side's going to be strong, then your entire left side will be strong.
I guess, right? I get it, right? I mean, it must.
I don't know anatomy well enough, or I've never looked past what I've thought previously from playing instruments and sports my whole life. So it's just observations that I've personally made.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, but you're not alone. All of us have not really thought about the foot portion of it. It's kind of like, that's why I ask everybody on the show, kind of like, what are your thoughts on that? Because we never really thought of it. It's always, everything's left hand, right brain, right brain. Like we never think about the feet. Like their feet, their legs. Don't they just go with whatever you go with, I guess? But I think there is something to it. I'm just not sure yet exactly either. But I think there's something to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things about legs and correlating and how to tell which one is dominant and which one's not. A really weird thing too is, even though I am left-handed, I'm probably right-brained, and I can switch feet because those just don't really matter. I'm right eye dominant. Oh. So when I used to do archery as a kid, I would have to draw a bow with my right hand. My right shoulder wasn't strong enough for it, so I had to strengthen my shoulder. I could pull maybe 60 pounds with my left hand as a kid, but I can only pull 40 on the right. And so it's one of those things where even though you are left-handed, you just can't escape being right-handed for anything. Like you're always going to be slightly right-handed. You're always going to need it, and you're going to have to neglect your left hand. That's the hard part, because if you're right-handed, yes, you can do it with your left hand. I guess it's the same for either or. But more common, I believe, everyone's going to be right-handed, right eye, right foot. I don't know why.
You bring up a good point, though, actually. For a left-handed, this has never been talked about either on the show. left-handed people have to use their right hand for things at some point. We have. I almost feel like, I mean, I guess it goes both ways. I guess right people have to use their left hand for some things too. But but more for left-hand people, because we are so unique compared to the nature of the world and how it's literally set up. The way doors are open, to cabinets, to driving, everything is set up for left-handed people. That must be, we do have to we have to learn how to adapt. And that's my next question to you. Do you think we're more, and I'm going to ask this for everybody, do you think we're more adaptable because we are left-handed?
I don't think we're more adaptable. I think the things that we do are the same. I don't know. I wouldn't call it adaptable if I were to use my right hand to open a door instead of my left hand.
Okay.
I would call that pretty normal. Okay. I wouldn't say I would have to adapt to thinking, oh, I need to open it with my right hand instead of presetting to a left. I know that if a door needs to be pulled and the way you go is right, I'm not going to open the door with my left hand. I'm going to open the door with my right hand. I love seeing the like memes online of people, left-handed people opening like freezers and stuff, like just bonking their heads. Because though I've never done it, I've never thought about that being a thing. As a left-handed person, I never thought, well, how come I don't bump myself every time I open something? Like, it took a right-handed person to think, oh, left-handed people do things weird. Because that's not something that I, a left-handed person, would ever imagine doing, and yet I guess it could be a thing because of how doors work.
Well, we know it's funny. My refrigerator is left-handed.
You use the left hand?
Yep. Our door opens to left.
Oh.
My brother and I both are left-handed. So it's funny that we lucked out. Just the refrigerator we got, it's a left hand. It just opens. So I never have to worry about any of that stuff. It's all just like, but see, when I remodeled my kitchen, because I've been in a left-handed kitchen. It's the trippiest thing on earth. You walk in, I feel like I'm at home. It all works. Like, everything's set up for a left-handed person. The way it flows. So I don't have that completely, but I did have them take my cabinets and make them for left-handed people friendly. So when I open them, they're left-handed friendly. I don't have to worry about them so much. So that was on purpose. But my refrigerator, it's left-handed.
That's funny. You're going to have a lot of people knocking their heads on your refrigerator.
Yay! Guess what they get.
That almost plays on to the whole need for adapting. Like, do you think left-handed people need to adapt more? Because we have to compensate. I don't think so. I think you would have to adapt more if you were to do those left-handed conversions. Like, say you were to get a left-handed fridge. That would trip me the hell out. I would not know what to do. I would still open it with my right hand subconsciously, because now I'm so focused in being a right-handed world as a left-handed person that I would still have to adapt to my left-handed world.
You have to come down to LA, come to my house. I'll say, Zaidan, and me and Jared will watch you. And we'll go, okay, Zaidan, open the refrigerator. And then
it's going to take me a second, but I think I can do it. We'll still have to go to the left-handed emporium thing too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that too. But it's kind of funny. No, it's funny. Yeah, people come to my house and right-handed people look at my refrigerator and go, "Oh, this is weird." And I love it. Good for you.
Yeah,
it's weird to you. Good. It's like, you know what it feels like. They look at it going, "Is it broken?" It's not broken. It was set up that way. But then my washer and dryer, they're top loading, so it's nice.
Oh yeah.
They have to open certain ways. Mine are top loading, so it's much easier that way than having it another way. But yeah, my refrigerators, and like I said, in my cabinets, I have the knobs on the side, so you just open them up. People make fun of me because of cards. I put cards in a certain way, apparently, in envelopes.
Yeah. That's the card thing. That's how everyone knows it's from me, is because of the cards.
Me too.
Yeah.
There. I do it a little differently. They make fun of me. I don't care. Your mom makes fun of me all the time. I don't care. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's a weird left-handed thing that we just don't even really, a lot of times we don't even think about it. It's just natural to you. It's just kind of natural in how you do it.
Yeah.
I think you make a good point though about the whole having to use your right. I like to have to use your right hand. We just have to. You can't be completely left-handed. You just can't. And it doesn't. It's not practical. It just doesn't work. You gotta learn how to strengthen. You gotta learn how to strengthen that. And like I said, I'm not ambidextrous. I'm mostly left-handed, but my right hand does come in handy for stuff. I can't write with it. That's the only thing I really.
Yeah, no. I think I would like to say that I'm mostly ambidextrous,
Okay.
except for writing.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at writing in general.
Yeah, I know.
Like my handwriting it goes back and forth between like bubble letters and chicken scratch. It's just you either get cursive or you get capital.
Yeah, you should be a doctor.
I don't know.
There. So, well, thanks for being on the show. That's what we've done.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was awesome. I never get to talk about being left-handed.
That's what everybody says. It's
a little relief. Something that you know so well, because even though I'm 21, this is the only thing that I can easily say I've done my entire life.
That's so true. That's right. We can't tell you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a young thing. Like, no, he's left-handed. That's what he means.
Yeah, I think I'm a professional left-handed person. It's the only thing I'm really a professional at.
Oh my God! I think that's our title of the episode. Okay, I'm writing it down. I like that. The sense of humor. I love it. Everybody. So thank you, Zaidan Perry, for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
That's funny. I don't know. Do you want to give out a handle? I always give people a chance to give out a social media handle if they want. I don't know if you do that or not.
I'm not a big social media guy. I follow people, but I don't care about personal following. So no, I don't really have anything.
He's one of those weird people of that age group. Doesn't do that. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He's not. You're really not.
I like to know what's going on. I don't like being the thing that's going on.
There you go. There you go. I got a bill over here on the side. So there you go. Awesome. I mean, that's I will end episode on that. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me where all James Lott Juniors are at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms, even on TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I am everywhere at James Lott Jr. And this show is on JLJ Media on YouTube. So be so kind and subscribe. I think it's down here, or it's down there, or it's down there, wherever it is. Be kind, subscribe, tell your friends. I have plenty of shows on there. More episodes of this show are on there also. And then, of course, the audio version is on every streaming service you can think of, from iHeartRadio to Deezer to Spotify, Apple, Google, and Spreaker.com. So go ahead and like, subscribe, follow there, comment, share with any left-handed person. Thank you to the left-handed groups on Facebook that let me share this with them and all their left-handedness. And August 13th is Left-Handed Day. So I'll plan a special episode about something. I'm gonna do something left-handed, trust me, on that day. So that's a few months away from now, but I'm just thinking everybody know that's August 13th is a special day for left-handed people. If you didn't know that, now you know. And everybody, thanks for watching the show. Take care and be kind to each other.